guys, welcome back. You know when you have those days and you kind of feel like the worst parent in the world because all you're doing is shouting at your kids and telling them off and they're not even listening and you just feel like tearing your hair out? Okay, so for some of us, that feels like every second day. And I wanted to do a video today to talk to you guys about how to discipline your kids using emotional intelligence. So have a think about this story. Two families come together and have dinner at one of their homes one night, and one of the fathers is overweight. The daughter speaks up in the middle of dinner and comments on how fat the older man is. And her own father rips into her, tells her off. Can't believe you said that. How rude. Go to your room. You should know better. And shuts her away for the rest of the night. Then the gentleman, who is overweight, says to the other parent, look, I think your daughter just didn't know that it's rude to say that. I'm okay with it. Kids are still learning. You don't need to discipline them. Imagine if she got a maths question wrong or something wrong in her homework and didn't know how to do it. Would you send her to a room and shout at her and discipline her, or would you teach her and show her the right way to do it? So it's kind of like the theme for this video. Around disciplining your kids, it's not so much telling them off and being a hard taskmaster, it's about teaching your kids. So that's my first point, is just changing or shifting your mindset from having a discipline, I know the best and I'm going to teach you what's right and wrong, getting away from that kind of mindset and into the mindset of teaching your kids, teaching them, because we know that their brains are not even fully developed until the mid-20s. So it's a long time, and if you think of my kids who are preschool age, they have a lot of learning to do. Cognitively, they're so underdeveloped, their maturity is nothing like ours, and we have to really make sure that we're coming from a perspective of teaching and understanding that they're far less developed cognitively than we are. So that's kind of my first strategy or tip or bit of information that I tell parents. It's check your mindset and see whether you need to shift your perspective from I need to teach my kids what not to do, what's right, what's wrong, and lay down the law because they don't know better, and move that into the teaching kind of frame of mind. So when your child does something wrong or something rude or something like that, come from a teaching perspective, like what are they missing, what skill don't they have they ever done this before, is this new to them, and come at it from that perspective. So that firstly takes out a lot of the stress of the situation because you're treating your kids like little learners, which is what they are. So my second point is to raise your awareness of your own triggers. So things that trigger you from your kids. I know we all have those things that our kids do this or that, and it just makes us go from 0 to 100 and see red. So as always, the first step in emotional intelligence is your own awareness. So raise your awareness, and you could even keep like a little journal or keep notes in your phone for a few days or a week around, okay, what are these things that my kid is doing that trigger me all the time? You're going to see some patterns, and then you can just use that awareness around thinking, okay, what am I going to do when my child has this behavior? So also moving on from that is just around being aware of your own beliefs or paradigms around parenting and around kids. So some of us have these inbuilt beliefs or perceptions around how kids are supposed to act, how routines are supposed to go. I myself grew up with having the idea that at dinner time, everyone sits around the dining table in the dining room and we all quietly sit and eat and chat about the day. That's my paradigm. Some people have totally different beliefs and opinions around what happens at dinner time. And for me, I know that, okay, my kids are young. I can't expect a 2-year-old to be able to sit at the dining table for 30 minutes quietly eating food. It's just not going to be appropriate. It's not age appropriate. And again, if we think about her cognitive development, she's nowhere near the stage where she can sit and attend to an activity for that period of time. So have a look at your beliefs and paradigms around different things that go on in your home with your partner or your spouse and with your kids. And actually it's really interesting to think, okay, I was brought up this way. my partner was brought up that way, there's a mismatch there. Unless you guys were from exactly the same family, then you're going to have different beliefs and different routines. And so what's normal to you might be really abnormal to them, and vice versa. So check those. And for me, it was about thinking, well, is it really that important that we have dinner at the table every night? Maybe once they're a little bit older, yeah, that's great. But for now, I need to just realize that they are my own beliefs and I'm pushing them on my kids, and that is something that I can change, and it will benefit everyone and reduce the stress. So again, it's kind of coming from that awareness perspective. So for those times that you do have to discipline your kids or tell them off or warn them against doing something for the 5th time, firstly, my suggestion is check your language, because a lot of the time we come across with really harsh, negative language that is, don't do this, or you always, or how could you, or how many times have I. It just sets the tone for an argument. Kids pick up from us the emotional tone that we're sending out. So check your language and see whether you can just shift it into something a bit more positive. So that teaching frame of mind, wow, I noticed you just did that. That's a bit dangerous. Try this instead. Or I've asked you 3 times, but you're not listening. Is there something we can do, like turn the TV off? Would that help? Second thing is, when you're disciplining your kids, have in your mind the expectations that you've got for your children. Are they age appropriate? Remember that kids' brains need a long time to develop. Things like problem solving and attention span are nowhere near that of an adult, regardless of the age of your kids, even if they're teens. So just check your expectations and think, oh, okay, maybe I'm treating you like an adult, or I've got expectations that are up here, and that's not really fair for you. My last tip is around self-regulation. So that means being able to regulate your own emotions and feelings when you're getting frustrated and you're at the end of your tether and you're disciplining your kids and they're just not listening. Have an awareness around, okay, I'm getting really frustrated. This is probably not my best time to be dishing out some punishments, and just have awareness of, okay, I think I'm getting a little bit too emotionally involved and I need to step back. And there's no harm in saying to your kids, okay, we need a timeout. Let's chill out, go our separate ways for a few minutes because I need to calm down and you do too. So just have that awareness of your own emotions, that they are probably colouring the experience or the situation. So they are a few of my strategies for disciplining your kids with an emotional intelligence lens. Alright, so let me know as always how you go, and please subscribe so that you guys don't miss any more of the videos that I'm putting up over the next few weeks, all about parenting and emotional intelligence. Alright, see you guys.